So here, we did the water intake, we did the calorie counter. All right, so the last app that I would like to create with ChatGPT is a healthy recipe finder. And just to really demonstrate some of the additional abilities or more advanced coding techniques or features that ChatGPT can assist with, I would like to actually have this healthy recipe finder produce recipes using an API. So I'm going to ask that ChatGPT write the code for a healthy recipe finder and to create an app that helps users find healthy recipes based on their dietary restrictions, preferences, and available ingredients. I will also ask that ChatGPT construct this app and make sure that it uses an API. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this request into the prompt.
Here is an example code for Healthy Recipe Finder that accesses recipes from the Edamame API. HTML.
And as you can see, ChatGPT has begun to provide us with a very lengthy HTML code that would appear to have some sort of drop down involved. So it looks like ChatGPT is creating a list of special dietary restrictions that the user can choose from. It did, however, not complete the HTML, so I'm going to ask ChatGPT to complete the HTML. Complete the HTML. And while it completes the HTML, it looks like it's starting over. So while it completes it, I will go ahead and copy this code, and we can take this over to CodePen and paste it into the HTML. And at this point, it looks like it's down to the submit button. So let's see if it is able to complete the submit button. And I'll go ahead and tell it to start. Actually, it looks like it's able to complete the code. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the code and paste it. All right, so let's go ahead and it's looking good so far. So here's the drop down, and here is the additional list. And again, we want to continue to use the same styling from the website. So that CSS portion has already been taken care of. Go ahead and paste it in. As you can see, it has reformatted our form. And here comes the fun part. So now we're going to have ChatGPT generate the JavaScript. So let's go back over to ChatGPT and we'll tell it to create the JavaScript. Create the JavaScript for the Healthy Recipe Finder. And here, ChatGPT is writing out the JavaScript for our Healthy Recipe Finder. And it starts out by getting the form results, and it then creates and adds event listeners to the submit button. Again, this should start to look like some repeated concepts should be coming up here. It does actually look like it completed all of the HTML. So let's go ahead and grab the HTML. We'll take it over to the code and paste it in. And here, at this point, there is a note in the code that tells us to make sure that we replace our app ID and our API key with the actual. So here on line 18, and this fetch request, it is using this app, your app ID and your app key belong here. So in order for you to get these two keys, and I will not be able to display my keys, however, I will guide you through the process of replacing these two sections with your actual keys. In order for you to get these keys, you simply need to go on to this website and create an account, and then you'll be able to get the API keys from the website. So let's head over to this website and create an account, and I'll show you where to get the API keys from, and then you'll be able to grab those keys and paste them into the code. All right, we are now over at, and I believe it's pronounced Edamame. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the name of the website, but for healthy eating and healthy habits, this is an amazing place to find some really good APIs. So I do want to take some time to show you how to navigate through this website, and then also just some of the cool features that it has to offer. So here it has a nutrition analyst API, and you can click here to get some more information on it. And if you take a look, first off, you'll notice that it has different plans for the API, and I'm currently using the free API, and it is the one that is for developers. So for me, it offers 400 recipes a month, 10 per minute. If you go through, feel free to go through and look at the different plans and compare. I'm not going to be having a lot of traffic come through this website, so I don't anticipate needing to pay the enterprise core amount. And for the most part, for me, this is just for demonstrative purposes. So I'm going to go with the free one, but you may find that additional plans work better for you. So with this nutrition analysis API, it uses a natural language processing and semantically structured data. And basically here with this API, it gives you the ability to submit full recipes and get a nutritional analysis. So what you'll be able to do is just to probably copy and paste, or in some way, shape, or form upload a recipe, and it will provide you with an amazing nutritional analysis. And it looks like it takes less than a second. So that's pretty cool. Let's look at some of the other APIs that it offers. Here we go. So the food database, and then with this one, it provides access to food and grocery databases with close to 900,000 basic foods, restaurant items, and consumer packaged foods. So this API is basically used for basic foods from a food database, and it returns the data for the actual calories. So you enter in the name of the food, and the output is the calories per whatever the food is. So this actually could work for possibly two tools. If we wanted to add an API to our calorie counter, we could modify that app and make it so that the user had the ability not only to enter the food, but when they entered the food, instead of them having to calculate the calories, this API could do it for them. So that is something that we might look at doing, which would be to update our calorie counter. And it also adds the recipe search, which is what we're going to be looking at. And this recipe search gives you the ability to search through recipes based upon a specific input. And this is the one that we're using. So one thing that you'll need to do is create an account. And then once you create the account, you will be able to have access to your APIs from your dashboard. So if I go ahead and log in, all right, I have logged in, and when you are on your dashboard, you are able to see the APIs that you have applications for. So here, I already have this API, and if I was to click view, then I would be able to see the API key and also the app ID. So basically, the API key is what needs to be kept a secret and not provided, because this is basically how the website, or how Edamame keeps track of the traffic that comes through your website. So you only get 400. Let's go back to the services. I believe it said you only get 400. Let me come back over here. Here we go. So you only get, there's a set amount. So 10,000 per month API call limits. All of this is what is tracked by your key. So you want to make sure that you don't give the key out, because obviously if you did, and especially if you were paying, then someone would be able to access this site and its features using your key. And so make sure that once you get your API, you do not give it out. All right, so let's go back over to our code, and I'm going to input my API key and information, and we will see how this application actually works. All right, so we are back. And I'm going to go ahead and input my information. All right, and at this point, I have input my information, and now we are ready to test the application. So I'll go ahead and select a diet. Actually, I think I'll go with high protein. And I'll just put one thing in to test. And as you can see, the application and the API actually are functional and it works well. So now the user can put in the ingredients of whatever it is that they are interested in finding a recipe for, and then they can go through and choose from these recipes, and these recipes are also based on the diet. So if I wanted to change this to a balanced diet, then I get a much different result. So here it is providing us with all of the ingredients. It tells us the calories, and it gives us the opportunity to also view the recipe. So this is awesome. And again, this is all coming from the API. So I think this is an amazing tool to add. So we'll go ahead and add our healthy recipe finder to our code as well. I'm going to go ahead and update. And now I believe it is time for us to start adding these tools to our website.